Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev. गुरु हमारे धन दौलत है, गुरु हमारे प्राण, गुरु हमारे धन दौलत है, गुरु हमारे प्राण। सारे जग के वो है दाता नारायण भगवान। सारे जग के वो है दाता नारायण भगवान। गुरु बिना सब ज्ञान अधूरा, गुरु बिना है ये जग सूना। गुरु बिना सब ज्ञान अधूरा, गुरु बिना है ये जग सूना। गुरु सिखाए हमको जीना नारायण भगवान। गुरु सिखाए हमको जीना नारायण भगवान। जय गुरुदेव, 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 जय गुरुदेव। संध्या भोर तुम्ही हो, हर आशा का छोर तुम्ही हो। तुम्ही हो संध्या भोर तुम्ही हो, हर आशा का छोर तुम्ही हो। तुम्ही से
Keep your feet both firmly on the ground. I'm speaking softly now, I'll speak louder, so don't worry. Every day, I have to announce switch off, not silent, off your mobile phones. Every day, try practicing sitting in just without struggling, sitting steady, watching your steady body, watching your steady mind. Even those who have been practicing meditation learn to keep the body steady for some time. See how your mind becomes steady. Learn to relax your body. See how your mind becomes relaxed. It was said, remain in solitude. Practice being with yourself by yourself without any external activity, so that you can learn how you can bring your mental rays to focus on the theme that you want to focus. Whether it is your goal, whether it is the Paramatma, the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, don't start with that. Practice sitting. And in quietude, when you reflect on what you have heard, what you have read, even what you have understood, it penetrates your deeper levels of your mind. So 13th chapter has come after teaching Arjuna not only the preparation for meditation, but also the art of contemplation in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Practice this regularly. Spend time with yourself. Then this knowledge is not only easily understood, but you can see, realize, because it is not something far away. It is your own true nature. So now we will chant Om Shanti Path. Okay. Close your eyes gently. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapiyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Shri Krishna has answered Arjuna's question, and through different methods, the infinite self, the Paramatma, is revealed. Bhagwan gives the understanding of what constitutes the Kshetra, the Kshetragya, how to prepare yourself with knowledge. Please read that portion again and again, which we did in the second class, and try to cultivate those. Then he went to explain what is to be known, Geyam. And that he revealed the true nature of your own higher self. Call it the nature of God. Call it the nature of your higher self. And yesterday we have seen that. But if our mind is tuned, really speaking, as it is explained, you can see it there and then. But in the beginning, we are just trying to use our intellect to try to understand the word meaning, etc., or it is difficult, etc. So we don't see it at that time. Therefore, the same theme on how you can free yourself from your limited notion of who you are and recognize your higher nature. The same idea of the kshetra and kshetragya has been taken up with a new terminology which makes it easy for us to understand, and that is Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti, matter. And that was explained as the field of the world, field of our experience. But by saying Prakriti, that which constantly changes, that which is inert matter is understood. And by saying Purusha, Purusha does not, like we nowadays say Purusha means man, and there's no such thing as Purushi, Nari, Purusha, no, not gender. Purusha means that consciousness that brings life into these inert equipments. And all living beings, in fact, the entire world, for our easy understanding, is the combination of Prakriti and Purusha. Just like all this light that you see is the combination of electricity, the Purusha. I'm relating it. It's not that electricity is Purusha. Electricity is also inert. But the vitalizing factor, and Prakriti, the nature of a certain equipment. According to the nature of the bulb, it gives light. According to the nature of the fan, it moves. Electricity is the same, but electricity in the fan appears as movement. In the light appears, in the bulb appears as light. So, Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetragya, the knower of the field. So, knower has to be conscious. And therefore, Purusha. Now, using the Prakriti and Purusha, having explained what is Prakriti as Kshetra and Purusha as the knower of the field, now for our knowledge, how do I recognize the difference between the Prakriti and Purusha? Because now what has happened, that consciousness, the Purusha, identified with the body, mind and intellect, becomes the perceiver, feeler and thinker. And according to the equipment, the Purusha in each one appears as different, like electricity in the bulb, electricity in the... And because the two are identified together, we do not see the distinction between the Purusha and the Prakriti. So in us, at this moment, what is the function of Prakriti and what is the presence of the Purusha? We have to recognize, and through this viveka, through this discrimination, you have to, in your understanding and knowledge, learn to separate the Purusha from the Prakriti. Because the confusion is not physical. It is due to ignorance and our misconception. You have to separate the two. Otherwise, what do I consider myself to be? This conscious being who is changing, who is born, who is dying, who is becoming old. Yeah? And as Kshetra, even joy and sorrow is only functions of the mind. And I identify with it and say, I am happy, I am miserable, I am hungry, I am hurt. So is I, the conscious being, the consciousness hurt? Or are this all Prakriti or matter? Clear? Now, if this is what you have understood, then these verses will become clear. So they are meant for our inquiry to be able to, within ourselves, separate. Separate doesn't mean that you will suddenly not have a body. Oh, I separated the Purusha from my Prakriti, now what? I'm dead. The properties of Prakriti will not affect you. The limitations of Prakriti will not affect you. Easy for us to understand that now you are confused and think that my car is me. And therefore, without car, you are bekar. Yeah? This body made up of matter, which is inert, which when life goes away from it, it collapses and crumbles, cannot function at all. Nor these senses which are open can function. So that itself shows that there is some conscious principle that gives vitality to the body. If we recognize that, then we know that even when the body changes, I am always there. And what's the biggest evidence, you please tell me? Majority of you are now beyond 40. Yeah? Majority. Beyond 40. Which means, yeah, you're down. But those who are 70 also, do they think that they are old? You tell me. Abhi to main jawan hu. Because you don't feel old. You are you only. Your body might slow down, but you don't feel that mentally also you're slowed down. You see, learn to separate you from your equipment, and then the changes and the condition of your equipment does not affect you. I'm first telling you the benefit of it, but the benefit of it is much more. So now we'll do these verses. They are highly contemplative verses, but since they are in a language of separating Prakriti from Purusha, and if we understand Prakriti, we can understand very clearly that I am separate from it. And this identification is only due to my ignorance and my attachment. And therefore, I get affected. Thus, even at a superficial level, this knowledge saves you from great fear, anxiety, gives you confidence. Otherwise, for every small thing that happens to our Prakriti, to your car, you become miserable. No? So, the pure consciousness identified with matter, Purusha, Prakriti stha, residing in this equipment and body, mind and intellect, appears as the perceiver, feeler, thinker, the limited Purusha, going through the joys and sorrows of life. But when we are able to recognize Prakriti and Purusha separate from Prakriti, that very Purusha is unlimited. Call it Paramatma, call it Purushottama. Yeah? So, this is the understanding of these verses. Now, as we go into the deeper meaning of these verses, in the words, don't get confused. This is what is to be achieved. So what are you to do in the seat of meditation? Not like I'm seeing some light, or I'm waiting for my kundalini to rise. Go and eat chole at night. Yeah? Gas will rise, kundalini will rise. Yeah? It's a good feeling also, you know. That is not spiritual progress. To be separate, to be able to separate the Prakriti from Purusha. And this separation is not physical, because the identification is only mental. To be able to see the clear distinction is these verses. So, this is what you have to do in the seat of meditation. Okay?
Prakritim purusham chaiva vidyanadi ubhavapi vikaramscha gunamschaiva
Vikaranscha gunaschaiva
Vidhi prakriti sambhavan.
Vidhi prakriti sambhava. First of all, Bhagavan says Prakriti and Purusha. Those of you who have already studied the previous chapters of the Gita, in the 7th chapter, Bhagavan had called it as my lower nature and my higher nature. Since both come from Bhagavan being eternal, Prakriti and Purusha both are eternal. No? And therefore, this identification, when it started, you cannot tell. So prakritim purusham cha eva vidhi anadi ubhavapi. Both of them are beginningless. Because you can't tell the beginning. So don't ask this question. When did this, when did I fall from being Paramatma to be this foolish ego, jiva? They have been there before time. And only thing is, vikaran gunancha eva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. Vidhi, know that all the changes, vikara, changes, modifications that take place are only in the prakriti, body, mind and intellect, the kshetra, prakriti. Vasanas, body, mind, intellect, the world of objects, emotions and thoughts. But identified with it, the perceiver, feeler, doer, thinker, enjoyer thinks that I am turning old, I am changing, I have to change, I have to do. All this because of the identification with Prakriti, the lower nature, the changing nature. And gunas. Gunas means the qualities, guna means the moods of the mind. They also constantly change, isn't it? So all our qualities, you're a good person or a bad person, you are a focused person or an unfocused person, these all belong to Prakriti. Mind is also Kshetra, Prakriti. So your qualities, your moods, and all the modification changes, whether they are the thoughts, the feelings, or even the body. And therefore, the perception, feeling, and thinking also changes. So looks like I am changing. But you cannot perceive, feel, think, because body by itself cannot perceive, mind by itself cannot feel, intellect by itself cannot think. It is only when the Purusha is identified with Prakriti, etc., becomes this living entity, who we also called as Purusha, the Jiva. So Bhagavan says, understand that all changes, even in your mind, your moods, all that changes is Prakriti. But to recognize change, has there not to be a changeless seer? Because suppose you are in the traffic outside, in the car in the traffic outside. Will you know how many cars pass from here for 1 hour? But if you know that 1 hour, how many cars have passed, you have been steady and yourself not moving. So why this knowledge of Prakriti, that all the changes of Prakriti, have you been aware or not? That you, who is conscious even of the changing moods of your mind, is the Purusha. Right? Now, next verse is telling us who is the Purusha.
Karya karana kartrutve hetu prakriti ruchyate पुरुषः सुखदुःखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतुरुच्यते
Now, karya karana kartritve. In the production of cause and effect. The cause has to modify to create the effect. So represents change. Right? For example, for milk to create curds, it has to change. So this whole cause, effect, action, reaction, all these things, even actions, all modification happen in the equipments. All the changes, thoughts, etc. happen in the equipments. However, Purusha, here Purusha means the conscious, perceiver, feeler, thinker, Sukha dukkhanam bhoktrutve hetu uchyate. For you to experience, know, Sukha, Dukkha, etc., Purusha is the cause. And this combination becomes the living perceiver, feeler, thinker. And that's called as the knower of the field, the experiencer of the field. So, the change is in Prakriti, but to experience the change and its reactions, cause and effect, Purusha is the means to know. Basically, simple is that whatever changes takes place, the knower is the Purusha, the experiencer is the Purusha. This is relative, but it is the Purusha. So therefore, the one who is the enjoyer of joy, sorrow, pleasure, pain, an inert object doesn't, I can hit it, it's not going to hit me back. Until and unless there is the conscious principle expressing through it. So, the table can't say, I experience pain. But if I hit you, ouch. Even though lovingly, tap, ouch. Who is the one who experiences it? The knower. So that is the Purusha. But this is still Purusha Prakristha. Krishna is going to use that term himself. Now he goes to say,
Purusha Prakristho hi Bhungte Prakritijan Gunan Karanam Guna Sangosya Sadasadyoni Janmasu.
So Purusha Prakristha. Purusha as though lying, living in these equipments at a level. For example, you alone living at home. When you wear your suit and go to the office, you are Purusha Offistaha. And what do you become then? Yeah? An officer. Yeah? When you have a wife, you are Purusha, husbandstha. You get the point? When do you become Grahastha? Yeah? When you live in the house and hold the house as my house. See, I also stay in houses, but I'm not a Grahastha. Grahastha doesn't mean a married person. One who resides in the house then has got all the responsibilities of the house, the worries of the house. The plumbing is not working. The shower is throwing water here, there, everywhere. Yeah. I am leaving day after tomorrow. Am I worried? But those who are in the house have to worry. This is called as grasta. Purusha prakritis tha. Bhungte prakriti jan gunan. Enjoys the gunas of prakriti. The qualities of prakriti, of matter. So prakriti, matter. Purusha, I didn't use the word spirit because nowadays spirit means something else, But the spirit. Electricity, though electricity is not consciousness, power is not consciousness, both are inert. But electricity, bulbastha, becomes dark light, red light, yellow light, blue light. Get the point? Electricity fanstha becomes fast, slow movement. And therefore enjoys means enjoys and suffers the qualities of Prakriti. Some qualities we like, some qualities we don't like. Some moods also make us happy, some moods don't make us happy. Even some knowledge makes us happy, some knowledge doesn't make us happy. Yeah? Knowledge that your son has just proposed to a girl of your liking makes you very happy. Yeah? But knowledge that he has proposed to someone whom you would never want, sorrow. Qualities of Prakriti. Karanam guna sangosya sadasad yoni sadasad yoni janmasu. And because of one's attachment to the properties, to the gunas, to the moods, the temperament, and therefore the vasanas, guna also vasanas, your value system, your belief systems, your likes, dislikes, etc., identifying with Prakriti, then is born in different types of yoni. Womb means different types of birth. Yeah, very optimistic to think. There are people going around, Hare, once you're born as human being, you're always born as a human being. Hare, what, we were all created as human beings? As per your gunas, as per your vasanas, as per your action and reaction, karana and karya, cause and effect, and that effect becomes the cause of your vasanas. These are all gunas. And according to your identification with these karma and vasanas, You are born into different wombs, different births. Gurudev used to explain very beautifully. He says, if in this human life, you want to just eat and sleep. And why not? Yeah? But you want to eat and sleep. If you are a youngster, even your mother will push you out of bed. No? And if your wife is there, then see what happens. So, if you go with those vasanas, where is those vasanas going to get fulfilled? Yeah? For example, when you are going to work, are you going to wear pajamas and go? Get those comfortable pajamas after you come back from work, or you go to a party and you wear all the glittering, those itchy clothes, with all those, those jari and all that. It's so itching, and then the cloth itself is so, so you wear all that, and when you go for a party, you go there, and when you come back home, first thing is you want to throw those suits that you wear, those tight pants that you wear, or those heavy, clothes that you wear, and you want to just take out all the makeup, and then get into those torn, old pajamas. According to your gunas, according to your mood, according to what you want, is it not? Simple to understand or not? So if you want to eat and sleep. And then otherwise they will even look at you and say, oh, you're becoming very healthy. Yeah? You can't even decently as a human being eat your own food and become fat. Yeah? What's wrong with that, Whereas human beings should go to a dietitian, must go and exercise. So much struggle. Just eat less, But no, I want to eat and I want to sleep. So what form are you going to get? Tell me. Even in this life, what to talk about afterlife? So next life, where would your desires, be most fulfilled? By becoming Mr. or Mrs. Pig. Yeah? Pig is very happy. You look at it and say, yeah? Is it not? Because the fatter you get, the owner gives you a nice pat on the back, because that much his business takes place. In fact, wants you to eat more garbage. Yeah? Sleep. Don't want you to run around. Because muscles are not very good. Is it not? Where will it be fulfilled? You know what? It is so difficult. Life is so difficult, You have to think so much. Why not easy? Just get food and don't think. So next life, which life would it be? Where would you be happy? Tell me. Donkey's life. And you don't feel so miserable, but that's what you want. Is it not? But our thing is, I want to eat the cake and have it too. So, each one is born to different forms. So, the forms come according to our gunas, our qualities. And the type of body you get also is according to the gunas. Whether a buffalo's, tamasic body, a lion's rajasic body, or a human being's intelligent body. Sattva is intelligence. Among human beings also see the form of certain people. Yeah? Unruly, uncultured, sitting under some bridge. Yeah. You look at them. Yeah. See the form. Your form determines. When you've lost your wealth, have you seen your form? And then one who's earned a lot of wealth, have you seen their form? See, even in this life itself, your prakriti determines your body. Your gunas determine your body in this life. Try to get, I do not know if that book is there, Journey into Health. Even the sickness of your body, look of your body, in this life itself. Don't say, this person looks like a pig. I better be careful. I think here you're not allowed to use that word. I'm not telling any one of you though. Yeah, but don't you say that? Acts like a donkey. So the form that you get is according to your gunas. Yeah? And therefore, when it is said, Sat Asat Yoni Janmasu, Sat means sattvic, which means intelligent forms. Asat here means unintelligent forms. Just like plants, animals. Even in animals, there's category. How you think your dog is so intelligent? And monkeys, as you know, are more intelligent. All this. Now, what is that Geyam? Who is that pure Purusha? What is the nature of the pure Purusha? Purusha that is identified with the mind and intellect goes to different bodies, who becomes a perceiver, feeler, thinker, the Jiva. But the Purusha on his own, how is it recognized now in your equipment? He says,
Upadrashtanumanta cha Bharta bhokta maheshwaraha Paramatmeti chapyuktaha Dehesmin purushah paraha.
That Paraha Purushaha, that's supreme. And supreme is said, there are no two Purushas. Minor Purusha, major Purusha. Lower Purusha, higher Purusha. That's the language going to be used in the 15th chapter of the Gita. Purusha Prakriti Sthaha is this me, this Jiva, the lower Purusha. But the Supreme Purusha is Upadrashta, is a mere spectator, a mere seer. Anumanta, in whose presence, as though given permission to act. No? Bharta, the supporter, without which it cannot, nothing can exist. Bhokta, the enjoyer. Maheshwaraha, the great Lord, the supreme Lord of the universe also, is that Purusha only. And Paramatma iti cha api uktaha, and also known as Paramatma, different names, no? And it is that Paramatma only, Dehe asmin Purusha paraha, that in this body that supreme Purusha resides. Now, if you hear Gurudev's explanation, and please go on ChinmayaChannel and on Chinmaya Clicks. Chinmaya's channel subscription is free. Chinmaya YouTube channel, please go on it. Subscribe, it is free. There's also an app 365, Gita 365, those who are into apps. Puja Gurudev's talks in small capsules are sent to you. But this particular verse, how he dramatizes, that if you say Maheshwara, who is God in you, who, because of whom everything functions, and what is the role of the God in you? And he dramatized this and he says that whenever any actions you do, without the presence of that consciousness, Purusha, God, no action can happen. But when your mind is wild and just wants to do what it wants to do, is just a spectator, a witness. But when a good and noble thought comes, and I'm not joking, that I must attend these discourses of the Bhagavad Gita, Anumanta is a permitter. Yes, that thought, I must go, also comes from his presence in you. Yeah? So when you do a good actions, as though God is the permitter, permits you to do it. But good or bad action, spectator. Bharta, supporter. And if it is noble, in fact, propels you as though pushes you, energizes you. And for those who are full of devotion, meditating, it is like the Lord in you enjoys. Just like Krishna enjoys the butter of the gopis. Lord of the universe enjoys. Because when these gopis, they do their actions dedicating to the Lord, and whatever vasanas gather as the pure white sattvic butter, the one who seems to be reveling in that peace is none other than that Purusha. Enjoys it. And that alone is Maheshwara. That Purusha only is the Lord of the entire universe and is also known as the Supreme Self, Param Atma, Atma, Self. And it is that Supreme Self who is infinite, because of whose presence you can perform your actions, because of whom in a sattvic mind you can enjoy happiness, that Purusha at this moment resides in this body only. Only we don't recognize. That's why this knowledge. Further, Bhagavan says,
Ya evam veti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha sarvatha vartamanopi na sabhuyo bhijayate.
this verse is so beautiful, and this term comes in various places of the Bhagavad Gita. Because when we hear all this, no, then suddenly say, oh, I'm separate from Prakriti. Arey, how will I live life? You mean I cannot enjoy this, I can't enjoy that? Or what can I do? But I enjoy this, I enjoy that, and all that. Bhagavan says, Ya evam veti purusham prakritim cha gunaisaha. He who thus knows this Purusha, along with Prakriti and knowing the qualities of Prakriti, the nature of Prakriti and the nature of Purusha, sarvatha vartamanaha. It's very important, no? Doesn't mean that person stops living. It's not that person is dead. It's not that person that doesn't act or is just sitting all the time in meditation. Whether in meditation, whether in the marketplace of the world or in the middle of the battlefield like Krishna. Yeah? Nasab bhuyo jayate. Such a person is not born again. People want to become born agains. Born again means that person no longer has any identification with the equipments. Therefore, no ego, no selfishness, no selfish desire-prompted activities, and therefore no likes, dislikes, and vasanas. And no vasanas, no birth. Nor in satyoni or asatyoni. Not as any animal, plant, nor as even a human being or a devata. Because in all those lives, you are identified with Prakriti, gross or subtle. You go through your joys, sorrows, etc. Such a person is not born again. Now, most people, they love life so much. I want to be born again, you know. But I want to be born like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. So I want to be born again. There's no compulsion for birth. You can choose your birth if you want to. But why would you? But you can choose your birth. But there's a subtler meaning than that. Every moment we are born and we die. Right? One moment you are a happy person. Next moment you have become an unhappy person. Is it not? Moment to moment you are having a birth. Moment to moment you are changing and becoming something, isn't it? Yeah. You're old, but then you go and color your hair, put makeup, this and that, and suddenly, everybody says, you're so young. You become young. This becoming which is in Prakriti When you know I am that Purusha that does not change, I am ever young, eternal, and therefore I don't become young, I don't become old, I don't become beautiful, I don't become ugly, I don't become slim, nor do I become fat. I am the bas. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Never any change happens in me. This whole becoming is a problem, no? If you were always miserable and you didn't become happy in between, you would be quite used to misery. Is it not? Now you tell me, everybody wants to become somebody, no? See, a Lakhapati wants to become a Crorepati. Yeah. Crorepati wants to become what? Pati of a beauty queen. Yeah. Then that Pati wants to become, Crorepati wants to become Arabpati, means billionaire, wants to become a billionaire. Become, and the billionaire wants to then become what? Footpath Pati. Means he wants his name on the footpath. Yeah? Or is so drunk that he's lying on the footpath. Becoming. Now you tell me, till you were not a husband, you did not have responsibilities, joy, sorrows, grievances, or even enjoyment of a husband. Is it not? So till you were not a husband, your hasi was not band. See, because the husbands are not laughing. Yeah. Till you became a husband, you didn't have the problems of a husband. Till you became a wife, life was not a knife. Yeah. People want to become, they want to become, MLA, then they want to become minister. Minister wants to become chief minister. Chief minister wants to become prime minister. Have you seen the problem of the prime minister? You just want to become. In becoming, there is a problem. Everybody wants to become head. Try becoming the head. See? You become something, there is a problem. But I am that Purusha. All becoming is in Prakriti. I remain ever peaceful. And where there is peace, there is happiness. So even in midst of all activities, such a person does not become happy or become sorrowful. And plenty other meanings of becoming, as I've explained. Now further.
ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे.
Now, each one of us are at different stage of our mental growth. Even as together we are spiritual seekers, and according to our growth and our mental temperament. Yeah? Bhagavan says, now he points out the means, and I've already been explaining from the beginning of the class. He says, Dhyanena Atmani Pashyanti Kechit. Kechit, some people, not all. Dhyanena, through contemplation, commonly called as meditation, through concentrating, quietening the mind, as I said in the beginning of the class. So, some by meditation, Atmani Atmanam Atmana Pashyanti. In meditation, when you withdraw your mind from all its preoccupation with the world of names, forms, objects, that which is experienced. Now pay attention, because if you want to know what meditation is, 12th chapter, Bhagavan has explained it. When your mind is perceiving, feeling objects, naturally your thoughts are of objects. Yeah? What is dhyana or meditation? Not going to a spa and listening to some rainwater falling. That's all to quieten your mind. Beginning stages to quieten your mind. Yeah? But in 12th chapter of the Gita, Bhagavan says that when you withdraw your attention from all sense objects. So I'm teaching meditation also right now. Don't think, Swamiji came, he was only talking, never taught meditation, no initiation into meditation, no. So I have to find a guru to give me meditation initiation. What is meditation? Why are you to sit steady so that you are not moving? You close your eyes. There are people who open eye meditation. Open eye upasana can be done. Concentration can be gained. But that's not meditation. You shut your senses from all external sense objects. Then suddenly the thought, oh, the light is not burning, oh, the sound is not clear. All that, your mind will not be full of all those thoughts. But there are internal thoughts of past memories, worries, etc. When you withdraw your mind from all external preoccupation, now very interesting it is. Your thoughts are what? Consciousness of objects. Consciousness of objects creates the thought of that object. So the equation is what? Consciousness, or say thought, is consciousness plus objects. Just as an equation. Now when you minus the objects from the thoughts, can there be any thought? Thought is consciousness plus objects. Thought minus object is what? Pure consciousness. This is what is called as meditation. And there is no thought. It is just I, the consciousness, knowing the consciousness by the consciousness, because even the mind is not there. No thought, no mind. This is called as meditation. Others, see, Krishna said, no, meditate. Why am I going for all these discourses? No, let me just sit and go. All those practices are to quieten and withdraw the mind. And as the mind turns towards the Purusha, which is the witness of all your thoughts and activities, your mind withdraws from the objects. Objects not there, there are no thoughts. What remains is the pure consciousness. Do it right now. Would my thoughts, don't worry. There are others who, through inquiry, example is Ramana Maharishi. Purusha, Prakriti, discrimination. There are others through inquiry, recognizing the Prakriti separate from the Purusha with what has been explained, come to recognize the Purusha even in the midst of all activities, even with all the thoughts being there. That is called as the path of knowledge. You don't have to shut down your thoughts. The misconception is in your mind. So others through the path of inquiry, which is called here as Sankhya Yoga. And other through Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga not directly, but through Karma Yoga, and all that has been explained in the Bhagavad Gita many times. When you do your, and already I explained also in the example of the gopis, when you do your actions dedicating to the Lord without ego and egocentric selfish desires, and when the fruits of action comes, you accept it as prasad and don't identify it with it. Your existing vasanas get exhausted. No more vasanas are created. Your mind becomes a meditative mind. In that quiet meditative mind, inquiry begins. Then whether through inquiry, discrimination, or meditation, one comes to know the truth. And those of you who can act just like a singer getting lost in his or her singing, yeah? That's why sometimes I say, Are, come forward, try to become a Bal Vihar Sevak Sevika, and one fine day, while you're so lost, like the children are lost listening to your story, and you get so lost with the story, that moment you experience. That quietude. Just as an artist who's just lost in his painting, not thinking of whether it will sell or not sell, not doing for anyone. Just like Meera dances for Krishna, not for public demonstration. When you get so immersed in your work with love, that moment you transcend your body, mind, and intellect, the action, the world around you. The result of action doesn't matter. Your mind in that work is at standstill. There was some through Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is not that you go and feed the poor with the attitude, pity, me rich person. keep poor person. That should be done. That is punya karma. But karma yoga is that whenever you do your action, ma phaleshu kadachana, ma karma phala heturbhu. Not sitting back lazy, but you get so immersed in your work that neither the result matter, there is no attachment, neither even the appreciation of anyone matters. That moment of inspiration, you come in contact with the Purusha. Very, very beautiful verses. So if there's someone says, I'm a karma yogi, I only do action. Act in such a way that your mind is only where your hands are working. Not in the past, not in the future. In the dynamic present, where the results doesn't matter, who is watching, who is not watching. And I used to watch Gurudev when he used to watch, even come to Siddhbadi and experience that how these village workers, they were obviously paid labor, but they would sit there making a brick. If Gurudev was watching us, we would either show off or get nervous. Gurudev would actually sit outside the ashram to see that wall built by a single person who is making the wall so even to the best of his capacity, does not even notice that for 2 hours Gurudev is sitting and watching, and we also gathered there watching. And Gurudev said, this is keeping your mind to where your hands are working. He's not even bothered to see who is watching, appreciating, not appreciating. This is meditation in action. Which the 4th chapter of the Gita says, action in inaction, inaction in action. This is karma yoga. That when you do your bounden duties with love and dedication to the Lord, where nothing matters, just doing your work as a love offering. Effortless becomes that work, and you transcend your mind into that moment of eternity through which flows all inspiration. Here you find the culmination of karma yoga being explained. Not too much activity, but how we do our activity. So apare, others, they follow. So 3 things pointed out. Some through withdrawal meditation, others through inquiry between Prakriti and Purusha, knowledge, like you are doing right now. But we are doing all 3. At this moment, you are just present hearing. And those who are just present hearing should have got that glimpse of quietude, that state of meditation. I don't know you, but looking at you, I got it. So, now Bhagavan goes to say,
Anye tvevamajanantaha Shrutvanyebhya upasate तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः.
Look at the love, the compassion, the kindness of Jagat Guru Shri Krishna. He says, Anyetu evam ajanantaha. Those who through this do not know. These three methods, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, inquiry, and Dhyana Yoga, meditation. All three can be practiced, but even through one of them, you can experience it. There are others who themselves has not inquired, themselves not meditated, yet not worked in the spirit of Karma Yoga. Attempting to, obviously, but having heard from others that even there is such a higher compelling truth, higher reality. Yeah? Or even as hearing as Ishvara or God, there is. Having just heard, and such a person, upasate. Upasana doesn't mean just waving aarti lamps. Upa-asana. At least takes the mind to hear, like you have done. First day, many of you may have not understood what was going on also, because distractions, whatever it may have been. But knowing that there is something to it. You brought upa-asana. You came here and sat, bringing your mind close to it, even attempting to learn about it. By now, can you see the difference in your understanding? Those who are meditative, those who have already studied, naturally it is a direct inspiration. But for those who did not understand, who have not got previous study, nor previous meditation, upasate, you brought yourself close to the teacher. Even they, Bhagavan says, te api ati taranti mrityum. Te shruti parayanaha, those who were dedicated to just listen about it. In fact, scriptures to say that those who listen to the scriptures by the mere grace of the Guru, not some magical. It is then the Guru's responsibility to make you understand and see. So without your effort, therefore do not miss satsang for anything. This is called as upasana. Or at the same time, upasana means, now that you know that there is something so great, you aspire for it. And only when you aspire will you go through this whole process. But those who have heard it and have shraddha in it, faith in it, not blind belief, you will pursue it, and step by step you will gain it. Therefore, never lose the opportunity to hear. even a minute of satsang. Now, I've given these examples before from the Ramayana, etc. Sankat Mochan and all that. A minute of satsang can save you even from hell. So, do not ever lose the opportunity to learn, even if now you don't understand. At least take your neyam sajjana sange chittam. Bhaj Govindam. Take your mind to satsang. If at this moment you cannot put in any effort, only listen. But just listen. See how easy is the path. Bhagavan goes to say,
Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam sthavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna samyogat tadvidhi bharatarshava.
now starts the other the method of inquiry that now Bhagavan is going to give, and that will be tomorrow's final subject matter. We'll conclude it just a few minutes early, and just a few announcements before you leave. As you now recognize that this knowledge is so subtle. Puja Gurudev, when he gained this knowledge, the difficulties of Uttarkashi and Gangotri from his Guru Taponji Maharaj, realized that we have got such a great science, such a great knowledge, and our own people are falling into those religions of beliefs, living as slaves, and especially the educated masses thinking that they know it all, not knowing what is the rich heritage we have. Even his own Guru said there's no point going down to the people. People are not interested even to come here. In the Himalayas, they're not such great teachers. That's why he wanted him to stay back. And truly enough, even now, but his heart for the people, because he said that I, as a highly educated person, even brought up in a cultural family, but with modern education, becoming an agnostic, did not know such a rich heritage we've got. What is the depth of our Indian knowledge system? What is the sciences we have? And especially the spiritual science, which has got no comparison to any place in the world. Past, present, or I can say future. And he came down starting the Gyan Yagyas. These kind of, he said, these are open air classrooms. I do not want blind believers, fanatic followers, etc. I have come here and in open air auditoriums to thousands of people in one gathering round the world. He spread this knowledge of, and especially Bhagavad Gita. Even as an individual, what he has done, phenomenal in the history of the world, nobody has done. Even saints and sages present, and even those who are in the last generation, all the big names of saints and sages, there is one name that all of them even praise. That is only Swami Chinmayananda has been able to do it. He started Sandeepany Sadhanalayas where we were taught Vedanta. So that this teaching, for those who want to dedicate that time, their life for this knowledge out of gratitude, to keep it spreading, that even after his form is not there, his inspiration, his love, his vision continues. Otherwise, a great master is gone. Afterwards, these committee members fight problems and all that, and then it fizzles off. That is a teacher who makes others also serve the people. Place to place after discourses, he would emphasize that you must have, and he called it as study groups. They're satsangs. But satsangs, not only to sing bhajans, which are also good, but where you do vichar. You reflect. Where he could set brahmacharis, brahmacharinis, he said, but that also he would say that do vichar. So study groups. Started class. He is the pioneer for children classes, Balvihar, Yuva Kendra, etc. For the youth, children, youth, etc. Started these various activities. Schools had stopped giving value education. He started value-based schools. Today they're the top schools in the country. And they're top not because you make them study, because their value systems, their goal settings, their sense of purpose, their sense of duty, comes when you give them values. And effortlessly, it is not that they are topping all the categories in sports, etc. He started the Chinmaya International Residential School for your children and grandchildren. And today, you see the alumni of these schools. Where are they not and what are they not achieving? It's ranked today, CIRS is ranked in the world as one of the 8th topmost schools in the world in IB. So just think, in India, it's top ranking in all respect. This is for your children that he started. The day school Vidyalayas from the villages to the towns to the big cities. Now, I'm very happy to say that we have also universities from KG to PhD. 5 years since the university, now we are building a huge campus. The most rural village where no help was reaching. 1,000 such villages in one area. And we've got a number of states, and my desire is that our village development program should reach all the states. And now in America and all, I've also introduced that your seva projects for what is required in your country, in your state, required, not just doing seva like go and feed. That we create an army of sevaks, an army of dedicated people to work for society. Army not to fight. Army means disciplined, dedicated, punctual. That's why he gave opportunities to become Balvihar Sevika, Yuva Kendra. And if you see the projects that mission is running, today worth billions of rupees. You want to build a university. And all this, a sadhu has made it possible. So Chinmaya Mission is not just some public discourses or some small center. In every field that is required by society, practically in most countries of the world. For the complete upliftment, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, is working at. At least come to know a little bit more of where you are attending so that you know, where you can dedicate yourself. So this is the great work that goes on. But here, for you itself, you have got all classes. Now everybody's got very into Zoom. First they were complaining. Don't be lazy. You've got a center. Many in the society need to get that cultural upbringing. We should see thousands of children, thousands of youth. And are you ready to serve? And mind you, if one person can do it, 100 of you can do much more. Even for the university, such huge projects require contribution from everybody, however little or big it may be. And from that, only little such huge projects get done. Therefore, you get opportunity to sponsor, or you get opportunity to give your Guru Dakshina, etc. So tomorrow also you have that, but it's up to you. But if you do crowdfunding for the university, please come forward. There's so much learning for you. So if they approach you, don't hesitate. Just do it and see how much you will benefit from it. We run various camps globally for your children, for your teenagers, for your youth. Rather than getting drunk in a party, please celebrate the Holy Week in a holy manner. A family camp is coming up from 25th. Family means all ages can come. Single, double, grandparents, grandchildren, and we'll have separate sessions for them in our Chinmaya Vibhuti Goal 1. The topic is the wisdom of love. There's a youth camp coming up. I'm leaving from here straight, going for the youth camp. Send your youth for that. Find out. We'll say, how do I find out? Yes, we are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. Yeah? Please go. Like it. Follow it. For your information only. Of course, not only besides inspirational quotes that come in, you can come to know from our websites, etc., the various programs that is happening in different places. Today our roles are such that we have to reach out to almost 1,000 centers. Cannot come all the time, but we have here our sevak, sevikas. Now, Minal is also here. She's done the Vedanta course. She can take you through the study of the scriptures. All this is available for your seva. So whatever you want to participate in, benefit from, please do it. But main thing is, send your children, send your youth. You yourself come and inspire many to at least come and listen. So, this is what Chinmaya Mission is doing for you here. So make the best of it. Time passes so quickly you do not know. Make the best of it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So tomorrow is the last day. Those who have missed out also, tell them what they missed out so they can come. And tomorrow Bhagavan then again shoots you to realize it here and now. So be prepared for it.
से जीवन आगे